Okay, so good evening to one and all. My name is Nishant Singh, and I'm working as a research and development engineer with ATS Learning Solution. So today our topic is future of an IoT. So before we'll start with the future of an IoT, how does IoT will going to impact our market? What are the opportunities? What are the global problems that we have in an IoT? And remaining things. Let me just first of all introduce myself. My name is Nishant Singh, and I'm working as a research and development engineer. Talking about my experience, I have a 6 year of an experience in the field of IoT as well as an embedded system. In the span of 6 years, I have already taught more than 15,000 plus participants across the globe, including India as well as throughout the world. So without wasting much time, let's get started with our session. First of all, let me show you what agenda, like what are the things that we will be covering in next 1 hour. Fine. So first thing, before knowing what exactly in future of an IoT is, those who are the newbies or those who are completely new to this domain of an IoT, okay, we will be starting with exactly what exactly an IoT is. See what is the history of an IoT. Furthermore, what are the recent development in IoT? Right now, what are the current development which is going on IoT? What are the development right now which has been already implemented? What are the development which are right now in a proof of concept stage? Later on, once we got familiar with IoT and recent development, next thing that we'll be learning is market share. Okay, how does IoT captures the market share in terms of an application? Later on, global problem that we have. So once we done with an IoT, idea of an IoT and application of an IoT, we'll be seeing some of the global problem that entire world faces, and with IoT, how we can solve those problems or how IoT can provide a solution to those problems. At the last, we'll see from a student point of view and as well as from an entrepreneur point of view. I'll be talking about an opportunity of an IoT. Fine, what are the opportunity? So if you are an engineer, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are an electronics engineer, computer science, IT engineer, this video is for you guys. So let's get started. First of all, what is an IoT? Fine. So what exactly an IoT is? I'm not going to give you a technical definition what exactly an IoT is. I'm not going to give any Wikipedia definition. Let me make this thing very simple and sweet. IoT, in short, Internet of Things. Exactly, according to IoT, all we just need to do is what? We need to connect everything to an internet. All we just need to do is what? We need to connect everything to an internet, whether it can be a living object or whether it could be a non-living object. Once the thing started getting connected to an internet, the advantage that we'll get is what? These devices started speaking with each other. Let me repeat it again. These devices started speaking with each other. Let's consider a situation. What will happen if the device started speaking with each other? Let's consider a situation. Okay, my alarm clock. Before sleeping, I used to keep my alarm clock at a morning 8. So at morning 8, I need to wake up. So my alarm clock is connected to internet on the same time. My coffee machine is also connected to an internet. And alarm clock and coffee machine are started speaking with each other. So what intelligence or what is the level of intelligence they're going to give it to me? See, as soon as I wake up in the morning, my coffee machine already knows that what? At morning 8 hour, I'll be wake up. So after half an hour, I'll be requiring what? Coffee. So as soon as wake up, my coffee machine have already prepared a coffee for me. Isn't it great? Or isn't it sound interesting? Yes, this is what the power of an IoT is. This is what exactly the luxury in future IoT will going to provide you. Let's consider from another scenario as well. Once you are about to reach your home, or once you are in front of your home door, on a single tap on your screen, your door gets automatically on. Once you reach to your home, your bedroom AC automatically adjusts to a required temperature which you want. Let's say, let me break this thing in a simple way. Let's say all you just want is what your preferred temperature is 23 degree, and as soon as before entering to your hall, your temperature reaches to what? 23 degrees Celsius. This is what exactly the power of an IoT is. So here your AC started speaking with what? Your AC started speaking with your let me know. Your AC started speaking with what? Your door lock. So they started communicating between them, And based on that, before you are about to reach your home, before you are about to reach to your bedroom, your AC automatically adjusts the temperature which you want. So this is what exactly the power of an Internet of Things or IoT is. Now, this is what so see, all these, this is what exactly a luxury. If you talk about me, it is what a luxury for me. And these luxury can only be provided if the things were connected to an internet. Once the things, whether again let me repeat, whether it could be a living object or it is a non-living object, if they are connected to an internet, they have some sensors which can analyze the environmental condition. Those things are acting as a smart. Right now, the word smart city, smart home, home automation, smart pen, smart refrigerator, we are hearing a lot. So this is nothing. Just all we just need to do is what we need to add some sensors to device so that device can started speaking with themselves. Once they started speaking, they can analyze. They can analyze and they can behave in manner what we want. So, in short, okay, in short, an IoT device could be as fluffy as a child toys or as serious as a driverless truck. In short, a IoT device again can be as short as a floppy device or as short as a pill, or it can be as serious as big as what a driverless truck. Some larger object themselves maybe act as a smaller part of an IoT. Fine. So this is what exactly an IoT is. There are many more application of an IoT, or there are many more things, but in this 1 hour, we're going to cover some limited points only. So this is what exactly all about IoT is. Now, let me talk about history of an IoT. So Kevin Ashton first coined this term Internet of Things. Now, let me tell you guys, Internet of Things or IoT. So this is right now, it is not there in the picture. From last 4 year or 5 year, we are constantly hearing this term IoT and IoT. So it is not like that this IoT is being developed in a 5 year back. No, IoT is already there in the market, like somewhere in early 90s, early 80s and 90s. On that time also we have an IoT. Let me talk about one of the first IoT product as well, internet based product. It was a smart vending machine. So we have an IoT, but the reason why it take a decade to convert your idea of an IoT into a dream came right now in the year after 2012 or 2013. The reason is what, on the 90s or 1995, we have a sensors, we have a chip, but the cost of that chip were too high, and it became very difficult and impossible to connect everything to an internet. As well as the size of those devices were very bulky, and it is nearly an impossible to connect these devices to an internet, and that is what one of the major problem we have in previous year. Fine, that is the reason why the IoT was not there into full-fledged in the market. But due to advancement in technology, due to advancement in the hardware, the cost of sensor, the cost of computer chip, as well as the size of these chips are started decreasing day by day. Now, I hope you, all of you are familiar with Arduino, if I'm not wrong. Is it? Previously, when I was there at my engineering time, the Arduino will cost me somewhere around 600 to 700 bucks, if I'm not wrong. But later on, as we move ahead, we got a newer version of an Arduino, which is nothing but what, an Arduino Nano. The size of Arduino Nano is what? Almost 3 times less as compared to size of Arduino Uno, as well as the cost is also 3 times less. So these things started making the idea of IoT, idea of connecting everything, the dream of connecting everything to an internet true. So due to this reducing price and due to the reducing size of the product, expert predicts that in coming year, the cost of connecting one thing to an internet, okay, the cost of connecting, let me talk about history only. So the cost of connecting one thing to an internet will cost you somewhere around 10 cent. 10 cent. So it is as less as somewhere around 10 cent if you want to connect anything to an internet. And that is what makes the idea of connecting everything into an internet possible. Because if we connect everything to an internet, one thing which is very important is money. How much amount we invest, at what cost it is possible to connect everything to an internet. If it is bulky, if it is costly, it will be very much difficult for us. Fine. So one of the first, let me just tell you, one of the first IoT based product which were developed in the early 90s or 1995 was RFID based product. So on that time, what people used to do is what, the luxury item or the precious item that we have, they used to tag the RFID tag on it. So they used to tag an RFID tag on it, and what exactly they do, they used to monitor. They used to exactly do what they used to monitor the health. They used to monitor. They used to track where exactly the product is going, where exactly the product is stopping right now. This is what one of the first developed IoT product. But if you talk about this century, if you talk about this 2020, we have a lot of innovative IoT product. But again, as I told you, we will be sticking with our topic, which is nothing but future of an IoT. So I hope till now, I don't believe that you are 100% sure exactly about an idea of an IoT or what exactly an IoT is completely. But I believe at least 10% or 20% you might got an idea what exactly an IoT is. In short, keep in this thing in the mind, keep this thing in the mind, connect each and everything to an internet. Once you connect each and everything to an internet, level of intelligence started getting added to them. Once the level of intelligence started getting added to them, things started becoming smart. Those things can automatically takes their action based on the certain environmental condition. Action means you don't require any human interference in this. Things are smart based on that data. They will automatically takes their action. True? Clear? So this is all exactly about an IoT and an history of an IoT is. Now, let me talk about few case study on an IoT, or how does the future will going to be impacted, or how does the IoT will going to impact the future. So right now, we'll not going in the past. We'll not go in the future. Let me talk about the present scenario as well. How IoT can be helpful in this COVID-19 pandemic. Fine. How IoT can be helpful in this COVID-19 pandemic. Now let's consider the situation. Fine. Right now, the healthcare worker is working tirelessly to fight against this COVID-19 pandemic. They are keeping their life at a risk in order to save the person who got infected with the virus or who is about to get infected with this virus. Fine, am I right or not? If you go in a hospital, if you go in the hospital, they need to come in a contact with a patient in order to monitor their body temperature, and what this keep their life at a risk. This keep the life of an health worker as well as a police personnel at a risk. Now, in order to avoid it, IoT with AI and machine learning can provide a solution. Let's see how does they can provide a solution to this COVID-19 pandemic, or how we can make these things as a smart. So now the things that you are seeing on the screen is nothing but what? Contactless temperature monitoring machine. Am I right or not? IR based contactless temperature monitoring machine. The things that you are seeing on your screen is, let me repeat it. It is nothing but what? Contactless infrared temperature monitoring machine. Now, see, let me talk about Mira Road only, where your college is located. Let me talk about Mira Road only. So if I talk about on a general scale, how many machines are there? Like, if we talk about on a general scale, there are malls, there are schools, there are colleges, there are multiplexes as well. If I'm not wrong, on a general scale, more than 3,000 to 4,000 machines will be there where people are using this machine. Am I right or not? But one small problem happens with this machine is what? That is a temperature monitoring machine. Let me talk you and how IoT can provide a solution to this. These machine works on a personal stage only. If I talk about personal stage, that means what? They used to monitor the temperature. Once they monitor the temperature, they'll let you know whether you are a suspect or not. If you are not a suspect, you are okay to move ahead. If you are a suspect, they'll keep you in the suspect box, or they might inform some authority. But apart from that, this device is not able to do anything. Am I right or not? Yes, if I'm right, these things are not able to do anything. But let's consider a scenario if these machines are smarts. If I say smart means these machines have an internet connectivity. These machines have a GPS location inbuilt into them. And what exactly they do is, once they monitor the temperature, let's say they are monitoring the complete temp, because see, here, if I talk about in a country like in India, how the population we have is more than 130 crores. And doing a testing of COVID-19 for more than 130 crore people will take somewhere around 34 to 35 years. The way we are, based on the way we are testing right now. And for a country like us, it is very difficult to do a COVID-19, do a corona test or COVID-19 test for each and every patient individually. But let's say these machines, if we monitor the temperature, Although there are exceptions that many patients are asymptomatic, but let's consider a situation if these machines are connected with an internet, they have some sensor in it. Once they monitor the temperature, they'll send a message to a cloud. Let's say there is some server where, let's say there is a server which is located where in your SLR Tiwari college only. So the server is located in your SLR Tiwari college only. Once they connect the, once they take the temperature, they will send what is the location of that machine, ID of that machine, and what value they are getting. Let's say these things are happening for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day. At every location these machines are operating, and those data are being sent at LR Tiwari college. Now later on what exactly we can do with those data is it now it becomes very much easy for any data analytics engineer or for any machine learning engineer to analyze those data. After analyzing, we can say particular, let's say we can say this particular area have an increase in the temperature. So from this location we are getting a constant increase in the temperature. So there are high chances that these area might be is what, a contaminant zone. So if this area is in contaminant, how does we decide this area is in contaminant zone? Based on the value that we are getting from this temperature. If there is a hike in the value from a specific region only, so we can say this area might act as a contaminant zone. So that the testing that we do it, instead of doing testing for random location, we can specifically do the testing on this particular location where we are getting an increase in temperature. So this is what the advantage of connecting things to an internet we will get it. And this is how exactly this is luxury IoT will going to offer. So during this time of pandemic, if we make our things smart, if we collect the data of an patients, if we send it on a cloud, analyze it, okay, these things can be very much helpful. Okay, these things can be very much helpful in order to find which particular area might have a high chances of COVID-19 patient, and where specifically we need to increase more and more testing. Fine. So like see right now the things right now I'm talking, it is right now it is not being developed. Fine, but this is just a small idea. But let me just talk about the use case only. So this is right now these things have been already deployed in one of the hospital in Shanghai. Now what exactly they are doing it in order to keep their hospital staff safe, they have connected this is what nothing but a connected thermometer which is being developed by an California based startup called Vivalinks. So what exactly they do, this connected thermometer is put it in each and every patients which are there in an hospital. So these connected thermometer do what, they monitor the temperature, they see the change in the temperature, whether the temperature is increasing of a patient or decreasing. Based on that, they used to send the value to a data collection center. Let's say the data collection center is nothing but a nurse which used to monitor the complete hospital. Fine, which used to monitor the complete hospital. Or let's say that data collection center is nothing but what, your LR Tiwari college where you are getting the data. So what Shanghai hospital have done it, within combination of 7 hospitals, they started collecting the data of an patients. They stopped sending their nurses to monitor the temperature. Whenever you enter into the hospital, these things you need to connect with your hand. So your temperature will be automatically monitored. Based on that temperature, they might find you, they able to decide it, which particular bed they need to give a more attention, which bed is at high risk of COVID-19, or which bed is high risk, which bed require more and more service. So this is what exactly a California based startup have done it. And this is next thing. Similarly, let's consider a situation. Let's say if I'll talk about the cost of this product, let's say if we're going to deploy it on a larger scale, if we deploy it on a larger scale, right now government is making an Arogya Setu app compulsory, if I'm not wrong. Fine, just to find out is there any nearby COVID-19 patient or not. On the same scale, let's say if we keep this connected thermometer mandatory with an customer, so all you just need to do is what, you need to keep it like you can use your smartwatch as well, but this connected thermometer, let's say, will cost somewhere around $100. So these things can be used to monitor the temperature of a particular region. And if the data got analyzed after 2 day, 3 day, data collection centers or the data analytics engineer can easily tell you which particular region of Mira Road have a spike in temperature, which particular region of Mira Road have an increase in an temperature. Based on that value, what exactly they'll decide it, whether to do more testing of COVID-19 in that particular region or not. And let me make sure, this is what a contactless. Here you don't require a person to monitor the temperature by standing in front of you. So this is what exactly IoT can offer a solution in the time of this pandemic. Once the things started collecting the data and started sending the data on the cloud, things are automatically acting as a smart. And that is what the power of an IoT is. Connect the sensors, take their data, and make them smart. Still, if you are not clear, or still if you have any doubt, let me go out on the next process. Let me go it on the next process. Now, next two example, sorry, in next two example, I'm going to tell you how does IoT will going to impact. How does IoT will going to impact the manufacturing process? Let's say the things that you are seeing on the screen is what? Nothing but the blade of the fans. Am I right or not? And these things are nothing but what? An assembly line. These three-person are in real time. They are nothing but there'll be a robotic arm. They are like what? Acting as a assembly line. The job of these three line is what? Job of first line is the job of person number one is to paint it. The job of person number two is to heat it or in order to dry it. The job of person number three is what? To perform an optical check. Now what exactly an optical check is? Just to check whether the product meets the required criteria or not. So if I'll show you, it will be like this. See, it will have a step number one or the process number one in manufacturing will be what? Nothing but a painting arm. Now the job of this painting arm is what? It will going to paint. It will have a robotic arm which will going to do what? Which will going to move the brush and paint it. Fine, for a required amount of time. This is how we used to program our microcontroller, and this is how we used to program our machine. Line number two will do what? Line number two, once the job is done from line number one, it will be passed to line number two. Now what exactly line number two will going to do over here is, line number two is nothing but what? An heating chamber. Here a heat chamber will going to heat the material for specific interval of time. Now the job of this process number two is, it is programmed to heat this blade for specific amount of time, required amount of time, which is being calculated. Once it heated, it will pass it to line number three. Now what will be the job of line number three? Now line number three is nothing but an optical check, which will check whether the product is fine or not. Now usually if I talk about any industry, optical check is not being performed on each and every product. After 100 product, or let's say after 2 or 3 hours, randomly an inspection will be done, and just to check it whether the product is fine or not. Is it true? Now the process which I have explained you, it is just a standard process right now which we are following. Okay, this is without an IoT. Let me remind you, this is without an IoT. It is just a standard process right now we are following. But let me talk about, if we follow this standard process, how it will going to impact our manufacturing process. How does it will going to impact the revenue? How does it will going to decrease the revenue, decrease the manpower as well? Let me see it. Let's say after 3 hours, I'm doing a random check, and what I found is the product is not fine. Product is not fine in the sense the blade of the paint on the blade of that fan is not dried properly. Now here there are few questions. Question number one is where the problem started happening. Now random check will find is what? Okay, the paint on the plates or the paint on the plates of the fan is not dried yet. Now here we don't know where exactly the problem occurs. Either the problem might occur at assembly line number one, either the problem might occurs at assembly line number two. Am I right? Or we don't know when the problem occur, at which part the problem happens. Point number two, even we are not sure once the problem started coming in assembly line number one or assembly line number two, how much product is being already developed. It can be 100 product, it can be 200 product, it can be 300 product. Am I right or not? So let's consider situation. Since the problem started coming in the machine, 300 products were already developed, and 300 products were already developed. Am I right or not? If those 300 products were already developed, it will result in few losses for us. Loss number one, the time it takes to paint and heat 300 blades will get wasted. Am I right or not? Next thing, it reduces, it wasted the electricity as well. And in returns, if that much amount of time got wasted, am I right or not? Again, I need to manufacture 300 more fan blades. I need to paint 300 more fan blades, and this might leads to the time wastage, and at the end I'm not able to deliver the product on the time. So this is what exactly the traditional problem we face right now in manufacturing company. And if we uses an IoT solution, in short, we call this thing as an industrial IoT, okay, or IoT or industry 4.0. What will be happen? Let's see. What will be happen? Let's consider a situation. I'll make my process as an smart. Smart in the sense, let's say at process number one, which is nothing but what? A painting arm. Over here, I'll be installing what? An accelerometer sensor. At process number two, which is heating chamber, over here, I'll be installing an humidity and moisture sensor. Now see, process number one and process number two is already connected to an internet. They are connected on an internet. They are started exchanging their data. Now the reason why I have connected accelerometer over here is the speed of brush. Am I right or not? Whether the speed of that brush is fast or whether the speed of that brush is slow, that can be only determined using accelerometer sensor, which is directly proportional to paint which deposit on the surface of the blade. If it brush it at a more speed, more paint will get deposited. If it brush it with less speed, less paint will get deposited. Am I right or not? So accordingly, heating chamber needs to adjust its time. Am I right or not? Now let's consider a situation. If we have a smart manufacturing industry with us with an inbuilt sensor, what advantage we will get it over here? See here, let's say due to some problem, I don't know, due to some problem, I don't know what problem is, the robotic arm started painting faster. Let's say if it paint faster, time duration is fixed. Am I right or not? The time duration is already fixed. If it started painting faster, definitely more paint will deposit on the layer of the on the surface of the fan. If more paint will deposited, it will pass it to assembly line number two. Now assembly line number two will do what? It will going to heat it for specific amount of time, and after that it will check it. What it will going to check it? Whether any humidity or moisture is there or not. So if any humidity and moisture is there, it will automatically adjust its heating time. So whatever problem which is being done by the line number one, those problem number line number two have automatically rectified it. And this is what the power of an IoT is. So I don't know the problem. I don't know exactly where the problem, whether the problem happens in the motor or whether the problem happened in something else. But those problems being automatically being rectified by heating chamber number two. So if things are under the control, let me tell you guys, do we require a random check? No. If the things sensor are there, they are smart, they are verifying it, we don't require any optical check. So here point number one, we are with smart sensors, we are saving what? We are saving electricity over here. Point number two, let me tell you what extra we are saving over here is, due to some problem, the machine, the accelerometer, the arm is moving, robotic arm is moving faster. On the same time, say due to moving faster, process 2 have automatically adjusted its heating time, but on the same time it will send a message that I require what? A robotic arm will going to send a message. Process number 1 will going to send a message, what? I require a maintenance. I don't know where exactly the fault is, but I require a maintenance. So see, if I'll put that machine in a maintenance during the working hour, let's say from 9 to 6, definitely complete production will be stopped. If the complete production is stopped, the worker which working in my industry, they don't have any other work to do. So how does the industry owner will do it? Once the industry owner got the message that this part of the machine is not behaving proper, it all we just need to do is what? We need to schedule a maintenance. And when the maintenance will be scheduled, that maintenance will be scheduled at the end of your day. Once the production stopped, this machine owner will going to put this machine in the maintenance. Maintenance sense, it will going to provide a service to this machine. Once the machine is perfect, again it is ready to work. And this is how IoT will going to change the complete manufacturing process. If we started connecting sensors to our machine, we can easily able to know it when the problem occurs. And when the problem occurs, see, this part of machine automatically tells you what? There is a problem in this process and I require maintenance. So right now, the problem which is being caused by the process number 1 is automatically adjusted by process number 2. But I got to know is what I need to put that machine in a maintenance, and this is what exactly the advantage of an IoT. I'll going to schedule a maintenance at the time when I have a zero production. Clear? So I hope this is clear, and this is how IoT will going to impact the market. I'll going to impact the manufacturing process. This is exactly what the future I'm talking about. Those who are in mechanical engineers over here, those who are in electronics engineer, IT engineer, see, this is what the future of an industry, future of the manufacturing process would look like. Here we will be having, if I'll talk this thing from job opportunity point of view, here here we will be having here we will be having an opportunity from mechanical engineer as well, opportunity for an electrical engineer as well, opportunity for an software engineer as well. Fine. So this is all exactly about IoT, or the future of an IoT, how it look like in a manufacturing company. Let's say next, let me talk about. So now see, I belong from a region of Vasai Virar and Nalasopara. Fine. So let me talk about one of the very good example that I have done in real time only. Fine. So see, the reason why I am teaching the future of an IoT is what, how you can utilize one of the biggest advantage of an IoT is what, how you can utilize the resources in a better way. How we can utilize the resources in a better way. Let me show you. The things that you are seeing on the screen is what, it's an pollution data which I have collected from Vasai, from Nalasopara, from Virar, from morning 8 hour to afternoon 13 hour 45 minute. So in the span of these time, I started collecting the data from the busiest place in Vasai, from the busiest place in Nalasopara, and from the busiest place in Virar. The reason why I have done this thing is what, see, let me tell you, let me talk about the traditional process. Okay, let me talk about a traditional process over here. Let me take a very good example of garbage collection. Whether it could be Mira Road, Bhinder, whether it could be Vasai Virar, Nalasopara. How does a garbage is being collected from our society? Our morning. So in the morning, usually let's say somewhere around 8 or 9, somewhere around 9, morning 9 hour, a garbage collection vehicle comes. They'll collect the garbage, they'll go move to society number B, they'll collect the garbage, they'll move to the society number 3, they'll collect the garbage, and this process will be goes on till it reaches to a last society, collect the garbage and throw it in a dustbin. Am I right or not? So this is what exactly the traditional process we are using right now. But let me just talk about the small problem with this process. One of the small problem with this process is what, let's say society number A in which I am living fills the garbage bin thrice a day. So the garbage bin is getting filled 3 times in a day. So society number B fills the garbage bin once in a 3 day. So society A fills the garbage bin 3 times in a day, and society B fills the garbage bin once in 3 days. So see, the behavior of those two societies are different. But what exactly we do? We follow the traditional process. Go morning 9, go on each and every. Although society B doesn't require a service on a daily basis, but still we go. A driver will goes to society B, collect the garbage, give the service to the society B, again goes on society C, and this is how we are doing. Fine. Next thing, how does IoT can provide a solution? Let's consider a situation if each and every garbage bin is collected with and connected with an ultrasonic sensor. Now those sensor will going to do what? Those sensor will going to tell you what exactly. Those sensor will going to let you know the level of garbage bin, and once it is about to fill, it will automatically going to give a message. Fine. It will automatically going to give a message. It will automatically going to give a message to whom? To a truck driver. What message it will going to give it? Okay, I am filled, I require a service. So here the garbage bin which is already filled, those garbage bin will get the service. Fine. So the garbage bin which require the service, those garbage bin only will get the service. So here one thing is very important, we are utilizing the resource of truck driver in a better way. Instead of going on each and every society, what exactly we are doing it right now, we are increasing the efficiency of a truck driver. We are utilizing in at the resources where he wants it. On the same way, let's say, let me talk about in Vasai Virar and Nalasopara only. So if we talk about the P cards, let me talk about the P cards for any cities. the maximum, like the peak hours will be somewhere around 8 to 10 hours. Am I right or not? Because this is the time where maximum people started moving for their offices. Once they started moving for their offices, they will take out their vehicle, and because of their vehicle, okay, because of their vehicle, more traffic will be created. If there is more traffic, definitely we require a traffic cop, traffic personnel or a traffic cops to manage those traffic. And that is what one of the problem we are having it right now. We just follow the traditional process. What is traditional process? We had an assumption. What assumption we had is that morning 8 to 10, morning 8 to 10 or morning 9 to 10 is the peak hour. So what exactly police officers used to do it, they used to send one traffic personnel on the same time at Vasai, let's say from 9 to 10, same traffic personnel at Nalasopara from 9 to 10, same traffic personnel at Virar from 9 to 10. And this is what exactly the traditional approach we are following in. But with IoT, how does this approach can be changed? How does we can change this thing? Let me tell you. So here, the data that you are right now, so that was our traditional process. Send each and every traffic personnel at 9 to 10 at Vasai, on the same time at Nalasopara, and on the same time at Virar. So this is what just a general approach we are following. But these data is the date. Now let me just show you what exactly I have done it over here is, okay, I have installed like all. So here they are using how, sorry, so here they have used how many traffic personnel? Three traffic cops. One traffic cops at Vasai, one traffic cops at Nalasopara, and one traffic cops at Virar. So they are using three traffic cops. Am I right or not? Now let's say if we collect the data with an IoT, if we make our street as an smart, if we collect the data from a street, how we can utilize the resource in a better way? Is it possible instead of three traffic cops, can two traffic cops is able to manage Vasai, Virar, Nalasopara? Only one cop is able to manage these three cities or not during this peak hour time only? Okay, let me show you. So what exactly I have done it, I have installed a sensor, one of the busiest street of Vasai, Nalasopara and Virar. I started collecting the data from morning 8 to afternoon 1 hour 45 minutes. And the data that I have collected is what? Pollution data. Because see, I don't want to increase the cost of that product. So level of pollution is what? Directly proportional to the level of pollution. Level of pollution is directly proportional to what? The more, if the more number of vehicle is there on the street, definitely more pollution will be there. If more pollution will be there, definitely the value will might increase and decrease. And that is what I have done it. I started collecting the data in real time, and let's see what result I have got it. So total data which I have collected is somewhere around from 0 to 500. So total 500 entry, 500 after every 1 minute, or after every 1 minute I had collected two datas after every 30 seconds. Temperature at Vasai, Nalasopara and Virar. Next, what exit? Once I got my data in a real time, I started doing an analysis on my data just to justify my answer. What was my answer? Is it possible instead of three traffic cops, can I use only two traffic cops? So I started finding what is the maximum pollution at Vasai, and what output I got is the level of maximum pollution at Vasai is 3.023. So this give me true idea. Definitely at one time the level of pollution in Vasai reaches the maximum. Similarly, I started finding for Nalasopara, I got the same answer. Same goes for Virar as well. So with this approach, one thing I got is very much sure is definitely there are time. It can be one time, it can be two time, it can be three time the pollution reaches to it. The pollution is reaching the maximum value. Point number two is my sensor. See, for all these three cities, I'm getting what? 3.0235. So one idea also I got is what? My sensor can give me a maximum value of 3.0235 only. So this is the maximum value. Next thing that I need to find out was, when this pollution was maximum, what was the time? Because that is important for me. Based on that time only, I'll deploy the traffic cops. So next thing I goes and I started finding out, when the pollution is somewhere around 3.0235, what is the time? So the time I got for Vasai is somewhere 10 hour 53 minute. So at 10 hour, the data is like 2 year back, guys. So for at 10 hour and 10 hour and 53 minute, the level of maximum pollution occurs at Vasai. Similarly, when I found the same result for Nalasopara, fine. So 2 time pollution reaches its maximum value. 9 hour and 11 minute and 12 hour and 14 minute. Same goes for Virar as well. Right now I'm not showing for a Virar, but same goes for Virar as well. So I started finding when the pollution was maximum, what was the time, just to get an idea. at what timing, at what location I need to deploy what? A traffic cops. So see, these are the things which I got it. But again, let me tell you, this data is not strong enough to justify my answer, because there might be a chances that only there is a vehicle or there is a scooty or there is a 2000 model vehicle which have a very high amount of carbon emission. And once the vehicle passes my sensor, it gives me a maximum value. All I just want to find is what? A pattern, a behavior in my data. If here I am here, what exactly I am getting? Only one entry. At 10 hour and 53 minutes, the pollution reaches the maximum value. I don't know the duration exactly. Fine. Similarly for Nalasopara as well, somewhere around 9 hour and 11 minutes, the pollution is somewhere around 3 maximum at 12 hour 40 minutes. So this data is not strong enough to justify my answer. So next thing what I have done is I started plotting. Now the data which I'm showing you is the real-time data which I have collected personally. So next, what exactly I have done was I started plotting the data which I have got is on against the pollution. So this is the time when I collected the data, and on y-axis you can see the level of pollution. And this is what the result I got is. For Vasai, the maximum level of pollution occurs is somewhere around 9, somewhere around 10 to 11. This is the reason where this is the time span when the pollution at maximum is, when the pollution at Vasai is maximum. See, if we won't go for Nalasopara and if we go for Virar, we can directly say that what? Okay, if the pollution at Vasai is maximum at 10 to 11, definitely the pollution will be maximum at Nalasopara also at 10 to 11. Am I right or not? This is what exactly our general approach is. But once I see the result of Nalasopara, the result was totally different. The result was totally different. The time when the pollution is maximum at Vasai, on the same time the pollution is very low in Nalasopara. And the time when the pollution is very least at Vasai, on the same time the pollution is maximum. Although it might be vary from day to day, timing to timing, festival to festival, but the day on which I collected this data, this is what the result I have got it. So can I say one thing over here? Can I say one thing over here very clearly? Traffic, if I deploy the traffic only, if I use only one traffic cop for Vasai and Nalasopara, only one traffic cop is more than enough to manage the peak hour time. A same traffic cops I can use at 8 hour to 10 hour at Nalasopara, and same traffic cop I can use. So let's say same traffic cop I can use from 8 hour to 10 hour in Nalasopara, and the same traffic cop can be deployed, same traffic cop can be deployed from 10 to 11 at Vasai. If I say this thing, this is true. Am I right or not? This can be true, because see, in Nalasopara, in Vasai, the time where we require more attention of traffic cops is somewhere around 10 to 11. And the time when we require more attention of traffic cops in Nalasopara is 8 to 10. Am I right or not? So a same traffic cop can cover Nalasopara between 8 to 10, and he can drive. See, Vasai and Nalasopara is hardly at a distance of 7 to 8, 5 to 6 to 7 kilometers. And same traffic cops can go and cover the Vasai as well. Am I right or not? So this is what exactly the beauty of an Internet of Things. We connected the data in a real time, we analyzed the data, and we started using the resource in a better way. Now here, if I am talking about using a resource in a better way, what exactly I mean to say is, instead of using two traffic cops at Vasai and Nalasopara, I can only use one traffic cops at the time when the pollution is maximum at both these two cities. And this is what exactly the power of an IoT is. Now let me tell you, like, as I belong from this region only, let me tell you one thing over there. One of the reason which I found is what the level of pollution is maximum at Nalasopara in morning 8 to 9 hour is because many people started leaving their house very early, because they need to catch what? They need to catch a return train. Vasaikar or Vasai people don't used to take a return trains, but when it comes to Nalasopara, they used to take a lot of return trains. Am I right or not? So they used to start from there. They need to catch up the return train. So in order to reach or the office time, they need to catch a return train, and in order to catch that train, they need to start very early from their home. So this is what exactly with IoT we can utilize the resources. Here resource in this equivalent to your traffic cops, in a better way. Last but not the least, fine, what exactly the thing you guys are seeing on the screen? Fine, if I'm not wrong, it is nothing but a smartwatch, Apple smartwatch, which is being working with Nike as well. Am I right or not? So let's consider, so this is a smartwatch which is being made by Nike. Right now, most of us, sorry, right now we most of us are what familiar with the smartwatches. Am I right or not? But one of the problem, let me figure it out with the smartwatch is, and how does IoT will going to completely change the industry? Let's say you have a smartwatch in your hand, true? So what exactly your smartwatch do? At the end of the day, if I'll on their application on my cell phone, I used to get some messages. Am I right or not? How much calorie I have burned, how much hour I have slept, how much time I have run, how much kilometer I have run. These are the info that we used to get it. So on a weekly, how much calorie I have burned, on a monthly, how much calorie I have burned. But let's consider a scenario. Let's consider a situation. Instead of storing the data locally, instead of giving data to you, once this smartwatch started collecting the data, they started sending the data on their cloud. And let's say after using this Nike smartwatch for more than 2 months, you got a message on your cell phone like this: hey Nishant, we found that you are not doing an enough activity and your body mass index is 29.9, which is being considered as fat. Let me repeat you again. Hey Nishan, what exactly we found is your BMI, which is body mass index, is 29.9, which is being considered as a fat. As you are not doing enough activity, we suggest you to join Gold Gym. If you join Gold Gym, you will be getting 20% discount. Use code IOT0693 and you will be getting 20% discount. Think of it, guys. Now, this is what exactly the future will look like. Okay, you got a message on your cell phone that you are not doing an enough activity and your BMI is high. We suggest you to join Gold Gym and use this code IOT0693 and you will be getting what? You will be getting 20% discount. So this is how IoT will going to change the market. See, if someone tell me, Nishan, can you join the Gold Gym, or if I'll get some advertisement on my TV or advertisement on the stand, that advertisement on any station that join the Gold Gym and you will be getting flat 10% discount, I'll definitely for 100% activity and we suggest you to join Gold Gym. Definitely there are high chances that out of 100 people, 30 people or 20 people might get converted and they start going for the Gold Gym. Am I right or not? So this is how IoT, collecting real-time data, connecting data and analyzing the data will going to impact the market. Here, if I talk about a market, see, a smart band or a smart watches right now, they are into what? On sport equipment. But after taking their data, Nike can start shifting their business to a gymming industry as well. Although at the starting they don't have enough customer, so they have done a tie-up with a Gold Gym or any local player. But once the database started expanding, once they have started getting more and more customer for a specific region, it is might be possible in the meanwhile they might develop their infrastructure as well. So from sport making company, they might shift it to a gymming business as well. There are high chances that they monitor your body parameter and they'll suggest you to go to an hospital as well. So from sport making company, they might shift their business. They might not shift, they might expand their business to hospital industry as well, to gymming industry as well. And this is what exactly, as Mukesh Ambani quoted, data will be the next oil. And in order to collect that data, IoT will be the key player. Data will be the next oil. And in order to get those data, IoT will be a key player. See, those who are interested in machine learning, those who are interested in AI, see guys, what exactly you are doing it, you require a data. Am I right on? In order to perform any analysis, you require what? Data. And IoT can help you to gather those data. Fine. So I hope until now I am clear with some use cases. How does, whether it can be a manufacturing industry, whether it can be in gymming industry, whether it can be or whether it can be, let's say, whether it can be like our day-to-day use only, how does IoT will going to impact the market. Fine. So see, till now what exactly we have learned, or what exactly we see, what exactly in IoT is history of an IoT, how does IoT will going to impact the market. Now the things that you are seeing on the screen is what? Global impact of an IoT, global impact or global market of an IoT. Now this is what based on their application. See, I'll not going to cover each and every application as I have already explained. I'll not going to cover each and every application. Okay, these are the market, guys, but let me just talk about retail market and logistic market as well. Now, whether if you're talking about agriculture industry, you can see there is an expanding business in agriculture from 16,333 million to somewhere around 48,714 dollars. So this is what exactly the growth in billions. This is what the growth of an agriculture industry can see. Similarly, same goes for manufacturing industry as well. From USD 221 to 18 billion, from the USD valued at USD 221, 18 billion in 2019, and it is expected to reach USD 575.36 billion by 2025. So whether it can be in manufacturing industry, whether it can be in healthcare industry, whether it could be in home automation, logistic, each and everywhere you can see the market or the revenue is expanding. So if they are expanding, definitely they require more professional to take care of their work. And this is what exactly, guys, an opportunity is. If you want to secure your, this is what a future. And if you want to secure your future, these are the domain where you can, these are the field where you, these are the skills which you can learn it. And you can apply it in retail industry, agriculture, logistic, manufacturing, healthcare, and home automation. See, I'm not going to cover, due to the shortage of time, I'm not going to cover retail, agriculture, logistic, and these industries. Let me just talk about the logistic industry as well. Let's say all you just need to do is what you need to supply an ice cream. Fine, you are an ice cream supplier which who used to supply ice cream to the complete region of Vasai Virar, Nalasopara. One, you supply at Mira Bhainder as well. You supply from Borivali to Goregaon, sorry, Borivali to Andheri as well, and you supply from Andheri to South Mumbai as well. Now, ideally, what do at morning 8 hour, truck started moving to the different locations, and they used to supply what ice cream. Now, one of the very important thing is what at the time of transportation, temperature needs to be maintained. Am I right or not? Temperature needs to be maintained. Let's consider a situation: a truck is moving towards South Bombay, and due to some malfunctioning in the truck, temperature started increasing, and due to increase in the temperature, ice started melting. Am I right or not? Ice started melting. So once it reaches to a church gate, once it reaches to a South Mumbai, complete ice cream will be melted. Apart from that, it will not able to supply ice cream to the vendor which is at church gate. Furthermore, there will be a waste of the petrol. Am I right or not? But let's say if you have an IOT solution with this, as you as the temperature started increasing, you'll get a message at your warehouse. Let's say the truck number 3, the temperature in the truck number 2 is not proper. Ice cream it started melting. So definitely a sensor will sense it and it will give a message to the warehouse. So from cloud only you will get a message. Come to warehouse. So instead of going further to South Mumbai, you'll get a message. Please report to warehouse as the temperature inside your truck is not working fine. And on the same time, a call will be made to a vendor which is at South Mumbai. What? Today, you might feel some delay as the truck which is coming to your location is not in a proper position. We have arranged an alternative truck for you. And which will be the alternative truck? The truck which is near to your location. He will drop his ice cream and he'll try to cater your location as well. So this is all exactly, guys, an advantage of IoT is, whether it could be retail, whether you want a counterless shopping, whether you want to use in agriculture, logistic, these are the markets. Fine. Last few more points that I'll cover it before we are going to end the session. And this is what, guys, this is what exactly is an opportunity where you can these are the some of the global problem right now world faces, whether it could be in food and water shortage, whether it could be in climate change, whether it could be in rapid urbanization, whether it could be an aging problem. Let me talk one by one. Food and water shortage. What exactly food and water shortage is? Like, see, when you talk about food, and malnutrition and hunger remain one of the global challenges. For example, 60% of water that right now we are using it for agriculture irrigation today is wasted. See, if you talk about an urbanized city like Mumbai, one of the major problem that we faces is what? Water problem. And when you talk about like in agriculture field, 60% of water is getting wasted. Am I right or not? Now let's consider a situation if we have a smart irrigation system which is an IoT base. So sensors can identify which particular area water needs to be sprinkled. So we can utilize the resource of water in a better way where it is required. Same climate change. Climate change is also there. Due to like the reason why I'm talking about climate change is due to increase in the level of pollution, the climate is changing daily. Am I right or not? there are the one thing which comes directly in our mind is what? Global warming. But due to deployment of many sensors, massive deployment of IoT sensors, we can easily able to predict it, the pollution at that particular area is increasing, and we need to take certain concrete action in order to keep their pollution down. Similarly, rapid urbanization and aging. Okay, rapid urbanization, let's say the situation. If you talk about in Mumbai, let me talk about the Mira Road as well. 10-year back, there is nothing, like 10 to 20-year back, there was nothing in a Mira Road. But due to rapid urbanization, more and more societies, buildings are getting created, and roads are started becoming narrow. So one of the major problem that you might face in future is what? Traffic problem. How we can use, how we traffic problem, how we can easily able to manage the traffic in a better way when it comes to Mira Road, how we can provide a smart parking solution. So this is what exactly the problem with rapid urbanization is. And let me just talk about one specific point only. Okay, if we uses this thing, and if we use it, each and every parking slot is connected with a sensor. So whenever you enter into the city, you'll automatically get a direction which parking nearest parking slot is empty, and automatically you can able to park your vehicle over there. Similarly, aging problem as well. Aging means, okay, elderly people, elderly age population. So for elderly age population, definitely there are lot of growth can be developed in an medical industry. You can deploy some sensor. Right now we have pills as well which can able to find out your health condition, and before any problem comes, the pills can directly send you a message. These are the particular problems in your body, and please do a routine checkup at an hospital. So all this is all about the problem, and here we have a solution of an IT. So who will going to provide a solution? This global problem act as an opportunity for you guys, and this is a particular area where you need to put a focus on it. The last two slides are roadmap of a connected device. As you can see, the reason why I'm showing you this thing is just to let you know, as we moving ahead, almost double or triple device are getting connected to an internet. If more device will going to get connected to an internet, it will create a more opportunity for you, more business opportunity for you, more job opportunity for you. Similarly here, if you see 2010, for 12.5 billion devices are there for 6.8 billion of population, and if we see 2025, almost 75 billion devices will be connected to an internet for a population of 77.9 billion. So if more devices are connected, to an internet, definitely what will be happening? Definitely more. Okay, definitely more and more device. Sorry, more and more people will be required in order to manage it. Am I right or not? If more and more people will going to require it, more and more jobs will be created, and this is how exactly IoT will going to change the market. Fine, clear? So we have 3 minutes remaining. So let me talk about few of the company right now which you guys are familiar with this, whether it could be an IBM, Amazon, Google, Oracle, Intel IoT, Azure IoT. These are their platform, guys. Now these companies are nothing but what? A service provider, and they know IoT will be at very larger scale in the coming year. So they started developing their platform, so that once IoT will be there full-fledged in the market, they have their portal ready, they have their service ready for a client. Fine. Similarly, these are few functional company as well. Right now we have a shortage of time. Okay, so I'll not going to tell this thing, I'll not going to detail explain it. At last thing I'm going to cover it. Big question is, how does IoT work? So see, there are basically 4 building blocks in IoT. Point number 1 is what? You require some microcontroller, whether it can be Node MCU, whether it can be Arduino, whether it can be any other microcontroller. All you just need to do is what? You require a microcontroller, you require a sensor. Once you have a sensor and a microcontroller, you start collecting the data. Once you collect the data, next thing that you need to do is what? Next thing, you need to just have some module, have some internet connectivity, any protocol which is used to send those data which you have collected on a cloud. Once the data got connected on the cloud, last thing, all we just need to do is what? You need to analyze those data and you need to make some prediction. Clear? So last, I'm going to leave you with this thing only, guys. There is nothing which IoT can't do. How much more IoT can do is only left on your imagination. Fine? Clear? So with this, we will going to close our session. Fine. So let me just talk about, some question which you guys have posted over here. Okay, thank you, sir, for investing your time and amazing session with. Okay, so right now, if you guys want to ask any question, you can ask it. I'll going to put your right now. I have a chat section as well. Okay, sir. Previous slide. Someone wants the Baljinder Singh wants the previous slide. Okay, so let me go on the previous slide as well. Just a second. Let me go on the previous slide as well. Okay, so let me go on the let me first of okay, so let me go on the previous slide. Okay, I'll guess I am done with this thing, so let me stop the streaming. So guys, I'll going to answer your question on the chat section as well. Fine. So right now we 5:30 on the time, we'll stop the streaming, but those who had asked the question, I'll going to put your answer on the chat session. Clear? Saili, Sanam, Rajendra, Baljinder Singh, Reena, Abhay, thank you so much guys for your Madhuri, Abhay, Madhuri, Pratibha, Ashish Divedi, Soni, Baljinder Singh. Okay, Madhura, thank you so much guys. Definitely I'll going to, if you have any query, you can put it over here. I'll going to answer your question. Thank you so much guys. It was wonderful taking a session for you guys.